Hello. Well, welcome. Man of Letters. My name's your host, Keith. Knowledge, information, and hopefully a little bit of entertainment. You guys know how this goes. Thank you, everyone. Come on in, take shoes off, We're going over the kybalion, the divine paradox, and the mental universe. Maybe a little bit of hermetic lore. We're just going to dive deep in the hermetics. I want to cover the ego. I want to cover some common misconceptions in the sort of, past couple decades of spirituality where it's constantly evolving, constantly trying to be figured out. And I feel it's my introduction, throughout the years, ideas can become perverted. Ideas can become twisted, not maliciously or anything, but it happens. So I want to address a couple of those things. One of those things being this idea of complete relativism. Like there's no such thing as truth. It's all perspective. That's one thing that needs to be addressed, that we will be addressing in this divine paradox, specifically the law of polarity, and the sort of unsubstantialness of our everyday conversations in spirituality. I feel like this past 10, 15 years or so. And I'm going to do a quick check and make sure that we're actually live. I forgot to do that. All right, let's see here. Are we live? We are. We are live. Okay, we got a few people in here. Peter Badger, hello. Just about to go to bed. How you keeping? I'm keeping well, brother. Peter Badger, keeping well. We're going over hermetic philosophy. All right, let's start with the divine paradox. Well, no, first we'll go over the mental. We'll go over the universe as a mental construction. And then we'll go with the divine paradox and tie everything together. Hello, everyone. If you're just tuning in, my name's Keith. Leave a comment. Let us know what you're doing here, where you come from, how'd you find us, or maybe just a regular and you're coming to get some knowledge. Either way, thank you guys for being here. Third eye, it has been a minute. We're about to get into it. Okay, the mental universe. Throughout the ages, everyone has been trying to come up with a name for God. And then some people will say it's chi, or no, say that it's energy, or that it's spirit. Okay, everyone's got their original creator. The hermetics call it the all. And the reason why I like to call it the all as well is because it's the most accurate thing without getting too caught up in dogma. And so this original creator must be truth, absolute truth. Truth as in something that is unjeering, something that is unyielding, something that is true and always true. And nothing that extends from that is that. That's the divine paradox. That the universe both is and is not at the same time. Now, what's happened is that's where the perversion has, started to fester. And this idea that everything is relative. There is no absolute. There is no truth. Or it's all perspective. There's no objective reality. And that's absurd. Existing in this realm, and it's not even about the 3D realm. This isn't a 3D versus 5D type of thing. Another perversion, I would say personally. That's a personal idea of a perversion is that these laws that we talk about in spirituality only exist in the third dimension. Polarity being one of those things, for example. Right? They say once you ascend from 3D, you lose polarity, and that's also absurd. We're experiencing this existence through our senses, and if you were to say, look at someone and say, hey, is this all an illusion? And your average person, if you don't want to be ridiculous about it, would be like, of course it's real. I knock on this, I feel it. I hurt, I feel pain. Someone I love dies, I feel that as a death of me. Like, they are real. Our experiences are real as far as we are concerned. In the minute, in the micro. Of course, in the macro sense, everything is changing. Everything is fleeting. Universes come into, and out of existence. Stars are birthed, go out through their life, they explode, they become black holes, the cycle starts all over again. Civilizations rise, civilizations fall, trees grow, everything is coming and everything is going. Everything is transforming into the pinnacle of itself, and then once it hits that pinnacle, it regresses back into nothingness. There is no absolute. So on the macro, yes, everything is an illusion, because for something to be true, it must always be true. Not sometimes be true, because if it is sometimes true and sometimes false, then it's a half-truth, and that's not the absolute. The only thing that is the absolute is that which we cannot define. And the reason why we cannot define it is because to define, literally by definition, the word define means to cut out of. Like you make an incision, that's cutting into the body. You make an incision. You make a decision, you cut away from. You cut off everything but this. And you can't cut off parts of the all for what is outside of the all to do the cutting. And to say that you can cut the all in half is like saying, or God in half is like saying, truth in half is like saying that there's a container that the all exists in. And there is no container for the all to exist in, because the all wouldn't therefore be the all, because there would be the all and the container in which it sits inside of. So that's the only thing that's real, absolutely. But the perversion has caused chaos, literally, because by definition, chaos, again, chaotic energy is undefined. It's pure potential. It's raw. It's extremely powerful. This is the feminine energy, darkness, chaos, feminine. Not to be confused with sex. That's just a material manifestation of gender. Gender meaning to generate, to create, not sex, right? Not man, not woman. Gender, to generate, to create. Therefore, everything that exists here and there and the past and in the future and in this reality, in this universe or the next, on the third dimension or the ninth, every one of those has to obey the same laws. They are all just as illusionary as the others. I shouldn't say just as illusionary. They're both illusions, whether you're a demon or a saint, whether it's heaven or whether it's hell, whether it's 3D or your soul fam 5D. I don't give a shit. All of it's all an illusion. The only difference is the rate at which it's vibrating. And the rate at which something vibrates basically defines it as a thing in existence. It's going from sound to light to hydrogen atoms to all the way down the periodic table. It's just more electrons, more weight. Now we'll take our universe. On planet Earth, this dimension, this universe, the one constant we see is change. And there's a pattern to that. That pattern is what we call the law of correspondence. Whenever you see a pattern, if you see the pattern of the creases in your palm, the palm of your hand, and how closely they match a river delta when looking at it from space, or the veins on a leaf in a tree, that pattern is the law of correspondence. Because you cannot have an effect that does not contain within it a piece of the clause. Hello, Caleb. Hello, Brandy. Hello, Peter. Peter. I hate. I hate. I hate Peter Pan. Name that movie. Someone name that movie for me. Also, did I leave my lighter inside? No, I did not. I did not. Can you guys hear the audio? I have Brandy asking me what happened. All right, we've gotten the mental. So we're talking about the mental universe and the divine paradox, which we've sort of been talking about both at the same time. You can't take. It's hard to not talk about them both at the same time. But the divine paradox specifically is all opposites are the same. They just vary in the degree at which they manifest. Does anybody know what I mean by that? Does someone in the comment section of the room want to take a stab at that? Hook. Nice. Third eye. Well done. I hate Peter Pan. I love that movie. And I love that line. Okay, anywho. The divine paradox. Speaking of Peter Pan, here's the great thing. These laws are built so intrinsically, the laws of the hermetics are built so intrinsically on our reality, how could they not, that they bleed over into every aspect of it. Think of Captain Hook and Peter Pan. They are each other's exact opposites. One is young, one is old. One loves to have fun with his friends and have a good time. The other one's a fucking pirate that kills people. One of them is orderly, right? Captain Hook has his clocks super orderly. On a clock, always on a schedule, always on a clock, always on a schedule, right? Very rigid. Peter Pan, very loose. Very loose. Fucking clocks. Homeboy sleeps in a treehouse. You think they know? You think they mess with clocks? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's a polarity. But they're the same thing. Old and young, that's the same exact measure. You're measuring time. Only Peter Pan exists at a different place. He exists, technically, I guess they're both immortal, but one's an immortal adult, one is an immortal child. So Peter Pan exists on the child part, and Hook is on the other side. Order and chaos, same exact thing. When does order become chaos? When does chaos become order? We can define that if we get nitpicky and we look at the micro and we say, well, chaos is if I have more than 2 pairs of shoes in my house that are laying about. One, okay, no, order. That's subjective. Where we Are we back? Are we live once again? Are we live once again? Dude, the internet reception's awful right now. What's going on, bro? Come on.